So then, IMSA at Road America. Let's talk about it, the 6 hours of Road America, otherwise known as the Motul SportsCar Endurance Grand Prix. And I feel like somehow, although it was incredibly chaotic, it was at the most only as chaotic as last year's traditional IMSA race. It going up to 6 hours did not seem to mean more chaos. LMP2s were still an absolute weapon. The GTPs kept killing each other. And yeah, I think the most unlucky outfit out of all of that was probably PPM. I mean, look at the fact that the 7 ends up in 6th when all is said and done. And that is after all of the kinds of penalties that we end up seeing given out post-race. It was so unbelievably messy a race, and that was a car that got stuck in a gravel trap. Granted, the 6, they had a worse time of it. That collision right towards the end of the race that put them just out with Jack Aitken. Jack Aitken, who I think I said to a friend of mine at the time, seemed to have gone to the George Russell school of, I drove that Williams once, and so I'm going to drive into other people. Aitken, by the way, had podiums every race this season in IMSA. He was going off the back of 2 wins in a row, but this was more like Weck Jack Aitken, who just ends up with rotten luck. That said, the incidents that happened at Road America, entirely Jack Aitken's fault. That's what I would say. Why was he going for the moves that he was going for, unless he was just trying to absolutely go for broke and get the win? Yeah, in the end, he still leads the championship, but the gap is now down to 108 points to Lauren Heinrich. And Lauren Heinrich is comfortably leading the Michelin Endurance Championship over Aitken, with Anlauer and Nazar tied with him. So yeah, that was chaotic to say the very least. I mean, heck, Aston Martin got the Valkyrie onto the podium only to lose it post-race when their penalty for the incident with the 93 got converted to a drive-through. And what is it with them and the 93? Because isn't that the second race in a row? Because we had the Glen, where we ended up... They were the ones that piled into the 93 at the Glen, weren't they? And they were both out afterwards. That Bitcoin car has been through the wars the last couple of weekends. But in the end, the winners were Philippe Albuquerque and Ricky Taylor. In the end, it still ends up being a win for a Cadillac. It just so happens that it's Wade Taylor Racing, and it's the other Wade Taylor Racing car. The 40, who are ahead in the standings, got 3rd. And then, yeah, 2nd place went the way of Porsche Penske. No, sorry, not even Porsche Penske, was it? It was JDC Miller, wasn't it? That was the 5 car, was the 963 that got onto the podium. What a messy race. For Inter Europol, it's exactly what they wanted. Tom Dillman, 2 wins in a row after the one at Mosport. 2nd place was the CrowdStrike by APR, the 04, and then the 11 TDS was 3rd when it came to LMP2. Then when it came to GTD Pro, Faf got a win. And with the news seemingly being broken to the world of motorsport that Lamborghini's motorsport division was up for sale, this is exactly what's needed for the Temerario picking up a win, especially when it's over a popular car like Rexy, the AO Racing car. And 3rd in GTD Pro was the Pratt Miller Motorsport Corvette. Now, this is the thing. What Faf had done, and I think Faf are looking at actually making an exit, aren't they, from IMSA at the end of this year? But what they'd managed to do was something that was really, really clever, which was play everything right and hope for a safety car. They were the first of their group to pit. timed it all right, and when the safety car came out and everybody else had to pit, they would be able to just stay at the front, and then cautions, precautions, and they held on to win. GTD went the way of Winwood. The 57 winning from the 023 Chiazzi and the 068 of Car Blanche. Car Blanche are a new outfit, or a relatively new outfit, when it comes to talking about GT racing. So well done to them for getting a podium, especially because you see them hold off Dragon Speed and Turner, who were 4th and 5th. And when we have a look at the standings for these other categories, it is still Curtis and Quinn that end up leading in LMP2, with Clark and Dillman closing up in the standings. It is now 36 points between the two of them. Their lead in the Michelin Endurance Championship over Dane Cameron and PJ Hyatt is down to, well, up, I guess, to 1 point. They've taken the lead. They're on 39. Cameron and Hyatt are on 38. And likewise, Toby Sowery's on 39. Johnny Edgar's on 38. And then on 30 points in third, Clark, Dillman, and Bijoy Garg. When it comes to GTD Pro, it's De Filippi and Verhagen still leading despite an 11th place finish for the Glen. Oh, they had an incident as well, didn't they? There were so many incidents involving the poor GTDs. There was that Mustang that got ganged up on by 3 LMP2s. But right now, it is still De Filippi and Verhagen who lead the MEC and the overall standings, though MEC is by 6 points over Katzberg and Milner. The overall standings is 15 points over them. And then a further point back in MEC, a further 6 points back in the overall standings are King and Tandy. So, it's still getting interesting in GTD Pro. And what does that mean? That means we've got a BMW, we've got obviously an Oreca, and we've got a Cadillac. And then when it comes to GTD proper, it's an Aston Martin as Dudu Barrichello leading the standings on 2,017 points for Heart of Racing. Behind him, it's Ellis and Ward, who are on 1,993 points to Barrichello's 2,017, and 2 points behind them are Robbie Foley and Patrick Gallagher. However, in MEC, it's currently Antonio Fuoco, Simon Mann, who are leading the way on 33 points. 32 points for Barrichello and teammates Tom Gamble and Zachary Robertson. And then in third, it is Indy Donche, Lilu Wadu, and Philip Ellis and Russell Ward. It's proving to be a great IMSA season to follow. I would recommend sitting down and watching it. You can have it on in the background, or you can just sit around and watch the chaos and just skip over all the caution periods. As always, folks, thanks for watching, thanks for joining, and thanks for continuing to support on this channel. Till next time, bye for now.